short weeks away, and Run Pure Sports is gearing up for the season with the best deal in DFS.
For a limited time only, we are offering new members a 15% discount for the life of their subscription, including SaberSim subs. Simply use the promo code NFL15 when subscribing to take advantage of this great deal before our prices go up.
And at RPS, we don't just give you access to one sport. When you subscribe to our premium service, we give you access to all of our content, including NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, and so much more.
And we're not going to charge extra for access to our preseason content either. Our memberships include all of our content, including the NFL preseason. The best DFS players in the industry give you access to their core plays and slate strategies for every sport and for every slate. Simplify your lineup building process by plugging in picks directly from the top players in the world. Watch our premium live streams to gain a huge edge on the competition. Our guys are live up to lock for the biggest slates, walking you through their last-minute decisions, analyzing breaking news and injury alerts for the major sports.
Again, for a limited time only, you can access our industry-leading DFS content for 15% off our already low price. SaberSim packages are included, so sign up today using the promo code NFL15 for 15% off your subscription for life and start building winning lineups today.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. I'm getting ahead of myself already. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone is having a great day so far. Enjoying some day baseball going on right now. Gary's got his Braves hat. He's definitely enjoying this early baseball slate. Got a nice little 8-game slate as well for the main slate. Excited to dive in, talk about it. Pitching's pretty interesting. One clear chalk option looks to me hitting a little more spread out. Excited to dive in and talk about it. As always, hit that like button for us, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. We always do appreciate it. Gary, got to throw it over to you. You got to be having a good early slate. What's going on in the corporate world? How's the job treating you? What's going on in your life?
Yeah, so I've been on the job now. This is like a week and a half. I still don't have access to government computers. So I'm basically not doing anything as usual as a normal government employee. That's how we're good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. But anyway, I mean, today, my Braves, man, they just went absolutely ham today. Matt Olson hit one in the river outside the stadium today, had a massive day. But it's crazy. The Braves went ham, and I had one Brave in my lineup today. And guess who that Brave was? That Brave was the rookie phenom, Grissom, who put up a bagel at 0 for 5. So a little hurtful. I'm sitting at the min cash line right now. I played Texas bats. They're kind of going ham right now, keeping me in the game a little bit. I got 2 Seattle bats as well. So yeah, looking forward to this slate tonight. I think it's a very interesting slate. Not very many pitching options that I'm seeing, and there's a lot of bats, a lot of expensive bats that we're going to want on this slate. So it's definitely going to be fun chopping it up with you guys on the pitching side of things for sure.
What are you doing with one Brave in your lineup? That's not the Gary I know.
I mean, it's Urena and Coors. I mean, and he did like expected. I wasn't expecting 13 runs from the Braves today. I like Grissom. I mean, obviously he's 2,500. He was cheap, and of course he puts up a bagel. So
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. What's going on? How's the early baseball treating you? Thoughts on this slate? Golf tomorrow. Talk about what's going on.
Yeah, decent early slate. I mean, I was big on those Rangers guys, and they're going to work, trying to catch up to those Braves. You know, they got 9 runs. The Braves scored 14, but it's only the 5th inning, so they could continue to pound there. But I think, you know, based on the content we had for the early slate, it was all Braves and Rangers for the most part. So people should be doing well, or at least in contention. Slate tonight, interesting. You know, got the one top arm in McClanahan, and then I don't know, there's like 5 offenses, I think, that are in pretty similar spots, pretty similar team totals. So a lot of different ways to go. SP2 on DK, I think, is probably the most important topic on the slate. I mean, we know the offenses that are in good spots, but after McClanahan, what you do, I think, is very important. So we'll break it all down here today.
Yeah, I think SB2 definitely up for grabs, and ownership, I think, follows too. So it's a pretty good slate. I will never come. I mean, day baseball, a good day baseball slate, an 8-gamer on Wednesday instead of like a 4-gamer or something for the main slate. Sign me up for sure. So let's see who we got in chat today. We got Nazify as always, D, Baseball Dad, Noah, K-Ped, Andrew Martinez, Chef U, Gator Nation, Jordan, Connor Charger, Bill Miner, Uncle T, Stevie Boyton, Landa, Danny Ferguson, Richie Smalls. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us as always. Like I said, good slate, money to be made. So let's dive right into it, starting at pitching. As Hoop mentioned, the one clear pitcher on this slate, Shane McClanahan, gets a very good matchup against the Angels. He'll be the chalkiest pitcher on both sites. I don't think there's any debate about that. But after him, I mean, you got Framber Valdez on the slate, who has absolutely been very good this year, but we always talk about it. A way better real-life pitcher than DFS because of the strikeouts. Andrew Heaney at 9.8, Zach Gallen 9.5, Brady Singer's been playing well, Giolito at 8.4. Let's take 8K and above. I'll start with you, Hoop. Giolito all the way up to McClanahan. What are you doing up top?
Yeah, I was hoping you went to our boy Gary first, but I'll take the reins here. McClanahan's an easy play on the slate. I mean, it's just there's some question marks with the other guys. McClanahan gets a really good home matchup here against the Angels. Now, the results for him have not been as stellar as they were early on in the season. I mean, early on, he was a slam dunk for 25 to 30 some fantasy points. As of late, that hasn't been the case. But he gets a nice opportunity to not bounce back. I mean, he had a good outing last time out against the Royals, to continue on and find some form here. So really like him at the top at 10.9K. He's going to be in a majority of my lineups. After that, I mean, the next guy that kind of stands out, I guess I kind of overlooked it, but Zach Gallen is on an absolute heater here. A matchup against Pittsburgh, 32 fantasy points. In Coors, 30 fantasy points. And then against San Francisco, 42 fantasy points. So he's on quite a bit of a heater. Few starts before those three at 32 against the Nationals. So he's flashing quite a bit of upside. So he is probably my second favorite here up top. And then Singer, I think, is somewhat interesting as well at 9.2K. We've seen some big performances out of him, 26 against the White Sox, 28 against the Dodgers, and then 18 against Tampa Bay. So 3 straight, I think, respectable starts. So I'll have some interest in him. But I mean, for me, the clear top 2 up top that I like is McClanahan 1 and then Gallen 2. I mean, the upside that Gallen's flashed is phenomenal, and he gets a pretty good matchup here against the Royals. So that's kind of where I'm at up top.
I like it. Going to you, Gary. I definitely want you to touch on Andrew Heaney a little bit because, man, that strikeout prop definitely is standing out to me. 9.8K. I want you to touch on his leash a little bit, though. Milwaukee struggles against lefties. I think he can have his way. I mean, it's Andrew Heaney. We know he can get hit around a little bit, but the strikeout upside on this slate after McClanahan definitely screams Heaney in my mind. Vegas agrees with the strikeout prop. So touch on him, and then Giolito all the way up to McClanahan.
Yeah, so I'll start with Heaney. I never really liked playing this guy. I mean, he's 9,800. The strikeout prop is nice. The matchup is good. Looking at the projected lineup over the last 30 days for Milwaukee, they have a 33.5% strikeout rate. So, I mean, I think you have to, and he's coming off a 10 strikeout performance. He went 89 pitches in that start. I mean, they need him. I mean, now with what's his name? Walker Buehler gone until 2024. I mean, he's going to be a figurehead in their rotation moving forward. And his strikeout rate, I mean, the strikeout rate's there, so I guess the price is warranted. I did kind of overlook him a little bit on the slate. And now that I'm looking at this projected lineup for Milwaukee, I mean, man, 33.4% strikeout rate in the projected lineup over the last 30 days. We've been targeting lefties against Milwaukee for about a month now. So I don't know why you would quit. So I like it. I think he's a great pivot off of Shane McClanahan, Shane McClanahan, man, he's just been a horse all season outside of the last 4 or 5 starts, except that last start against Kansas City, like Hoop mentioned. But I don't think I'm going to pay 10-9 for him on this slate. I mean, he could sure bust out a 30 piece on me and sink me pretty fast. But I think I'm going to prioritize bats on this slate. I mean, there's some pretty high-powered offenses that I like on this slate, and I'm going to want to go down a little bit further for my pitching options. But good call on Heaney for sure. I just looked at his stuff like right when you mentioned, talk about him a little bit, and he's definitely a good option. 9,800. He's got a respectable projection here. He's going to be low owned. I think we should get him at sub 20% on this slate. So definitely like him. But Zach, I'll touch on Zach Gallen too. I mean, he's probably my favorite pitcher on the slate. He's just been incredible. Great matchup here against Kansas City. Kansas or AP's boy Vinny P is on the IL. That helps his case here as well. I love him in this matchup. I probably would rank him above Heaney, but I mean he's going to be higher owned than Heaney too. So take that in consideration. I do like Heaney. Gallen is my guy up here. So yeah, I don't have any interest in Brady Singer at 9,200 against Arizona. Looking at Arizona's data over the last 30 days. Against right-handed pitching, I think they have, I'm looking at it, 16.7% strikeout rate. So surprisingly, they have not been striking out a lot against right-handed pitching. This is the highest price Singer's been all year, I believe. I'm out on Brady Singer, but I definitely love me some Zach Gallen. And thank you for getting me on Andrew Heaney.
I love it. Yeah, I love you joining the boat there. No Framber and no Giolito for you?
Nah, Framber, I mean, Steve and I, we bet his over out spot earlier today. He's going to go 7 innings, but he'll probably get 3 or 4 strikeouts, give up a couple runs. I can't pay 10.4K for that. Just prefer Gallen.
Yep, definitely makes some sense. Right back to you, Gary. 8K and below. You said you liked some cheaper pitchers, so take it away. Who are you looking at?
So there's 3 guys down here, and one of them just became basically available to me once we saw the Boston lineup come out. Jose Barrios, Steve and I, again, we got on his K-prop at plus money here. I like it a lot. This lineup for Boston, no Bogarts. Somebody else is out too. It's a pretty crappy lineup they put out here tonight. I think he could pop. He's coming off a nice game, pretty big game actually. I can't remember. I'm trying to pull it up now. 30 DraftKings point performance in Yankee Stadium against the Yankees. I think he could pop for a big game here at some pretty low ownership, given that his projection is staying low across the industry. Somebody that I think will garner a little bit of ownership on this slate down here is Miles Mikolas in Wrigley Field against the Cubs. 7,900. I mean, that's a really cheap price tag for him. He doesn't have a high strikeout rate, but man, this guy just grinds out 6 innings, 7 innings. He's coming off back-to-back 8-inning performances. I think he's going to be a pretty popular option. And Barrios makes for a very interesting tournament pivot in that same range for just a little bit cheaper. And the last guy down here I will talk about, I don't think I'm going to need him on this slate. I did talk about I wanted some high-priced bats, but Christopher Sanchez, 5,500. He's getting the call-up for Philly here against Cincinnati. He's only expected to probably go 4 innings, maybe 5 if you're lucky. His projection's pretty healthy. He's got so I mean, he's not a high strikeout guy either. He's probably expect 4 to 5 innings, 4 to 5 strikeouts kind of performance. Get you 10 fantasy points and move on about your day. I think you'll be happy with that. I think you could do it if you really wanted to jam in some stud bats, but I don't think I'm personally going to go there. I think I'm just going to stick with Barrios and Mikolas down here.
I like it. Stevie Boynton just made a good point for Barrios to help you out even a little more. No Bogarts or Pham in that lineup.
Yeah.
Kiki Hernandez has been back the past week, but without Pham, Bogarts definitely a big bump there.
Projected lineup. The lineup has a 26% strikeout rate versus righties over the last 30 days, so that's pretty good.
I like it. Hoop, AK and below. Who are you looking at?
Yeah, so the guys I'm looking at here below AK, Mikolas, I agree, 7.9K. I'm fine with him against the Cubs. Back-to-back solid starts. He's been good in 4 out of 5. Good matchup here against Chicago. Barrios, I think, is just an elite tournament option. I don't think ownership is going to be all that high on him. He's had some very, very good starts. He's had some very bad starts as of late, but dominating the Yankees in Yankee Stadium recently. That's nice. Although, I mean, the Yankees haven't been the same Yankees, but 30 fantasy points last time out. And you get this weak, watered down Boston lineup. I think he's firmly in play here. And then the last guy that I'm willing to play is the Sanchez dude for the Phillies. I think there is enough expensive offense on this slate where playing him does make sense. I mean, the top offenses are, the big boy offenses, the Blue Jays, you have the Astros, you have the Dodgers. Those are expensive offenses. So a cheap pitcher, I think, does go a long way on this slate. I'm not necessarily tied to anyone overall at pitcher. I mean, we talk about it sometimes, like, the ideal pairing for me is going to be one of those slates. We talk about it sometimes where I'm building my offense and then I'm coming back in whichever two pitchers I can play out of my group of 5 or 6 that I mentioned. I'm good with it. I'll just let it go. So that's kind of how I'm building my teams today. McClanahan has just been okay as of late. Typically early on in the season, I think this would be a slate where you just jam McClanahan. Now on FanDuel, it might be a little bit different, obviously, where you just have the one pitcher. But on DraftKings, where you have 2 pitchers, I'm not tied to any sort of direction at pitcher. The 5 or 6 guys that I mentioned, whichever 2 I end up with in my lineups, I'm cool with. I'm more focused on how I'm building offensively tonight.
I like it. Gary, same question, or who brought up, are you thinking you're just going to start with bats today and see what works at pitcher, or what you thinking for that?
I mean, it's going to be hard for me not to play Gallen today. So I think I'm going to prioritize Gallen, and then I'll probably put Gallen in, put my bats in, and see what I got
See what
left.
you got left. Yeah, perfect. Before we even get the rankings and pitcher, I got to know, Gary, what flavor are you drinking? I saw a nice little beauty sit up there. I got the pineapple.
Pineapple. I got
there
pineapple.
You go.
Yeah.
Pineapple. I haven't been able to find high noons anywhere around me since a big
Really?
cheese. Oh, hurtful. I mean,
Really?
I'm not looking too hard, I guess, but yeah.
The pineapple has kind of climbed my list as one of my faves. The pineapple is it's a solid one.
Black cherry is the goat, though. Black cherry is the goat.
Black cherry. I don't mind black cherry. I like pineapple. Honestly, might be my number 1 at this point.
You're making Hoop jealous over there, Gary. Nice refreshing drink on this show. All right, let's rank top 3 pitchers. I know, Hoop, you're going to start with McClanahan. Gary, you're going to start with Gallen. So top 3.
I don't know. Gallen. Gary might have talked me onto Gallen a little bit more. I mean, you look at that game log. I like guys. I believe in hot streaks and all that crap. And dude, there's no one hotter right now. So I think I may reverse course a little bit and be on Gallen 1. I guess I'll just keep going. Then I will take McClanahan. I think there is a degree of safety with him. And then Berrios, man, based on this Boston lineup, like I'm good going Berrios.
Gary, top 3, Gallen 1, who's 2 and 3.
Yeah, definitely Gallen 1, and then I'm gonna go Berrios 2, Mikolas 3, just because I think I'm gonna want at least one of those 2 guys in my lineup to fit some bigger bats. But I do like Heaney quite a bit too.
I like it. That is pitching on this slate. Outside McClanahan, I think you see ownership pretty spread out. So good slate. And if you listen to Gary, you can fade McClanahan. Hoops on the same page, it sounds like now. It's prioritize bats. If you don't have the salary, sounds like both of them are okay not playing the chalkiest pitcher on this slate. Let's get likes up a little bit. 365, 132 watching. 2 seconds out of your day. Thumbs up. Big red subscribe button to the bottom right. We are all happy. Those subscribers keep pushing up and up and up every single day. So hopefully we hit 10,000 soon. We appreciate all of you guys hitting that like, hitting that subscribe. And we do have a promo code going on. You've probably heard about it. NFL 15 is the promo code. Gets you 15% off every single month. SaberSim is also included. I just saw Jordan put in the Saber chat that the NFL sims are live. Obviously, it's still very early. Not recommending building week 1 lineups right now and submitting them or stuff. But if you want to go mess around with the Saber sim for NFL, they are live right now. So you can do that. Very excited. NFL right around the corner. We also have our best ball rankings up. Preseason, as always. Of course, NASCAR, golf, MMA, Tambo and Big T, maybe Uncle T. I didn't tune into the golf show yet, but premium show they always do on Wednesday. They already had that show. So if you're in the golf streets, make sure you tune in there. Always big prize pools for golf. So NFL 15 is that promo code. Gets you 15% off. Make sure you get in the Discord if you join as well. Let's talk a little members never win segment before we go game by game. Trackman 74, $4,000 in NASCAR. Mill 1155, $5,000 in NFL. Showtime 8319, 10,000 in NFL, and then DFW beatdown 15,000 in MLB. So congrats to you four. If you want to be on this segment, we have a members never win segment in Discord, and you have a chance to be on here. So like button, subscribe button, 8 games on this slate. Let's go game by game. Starting off with the first of the night, Cincinnati Reds, Philadelphia Phillies, TJ Zeuch and Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Man, it's warm in Philly, 85 degrees. Look at that implied total. Phillies have the highest on the slate. Talk to me about some of these Phillies, Gary, and then any Reds for you.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough not to have some interest in here. I wish they would not have put the option Hall back to AAA. He's just been a beast against right.
Yeah, what did he do wrong? He did too well for him.
I guess. I mean,
why would he go back down?
I mean, they're in the wild card hunt. I mean, I think they got the second wild card spot right now,
and Harper's coming back. I saw like in the next week or something. So what are they doing setting them down? I saw that and I was confused.
No clue. I mean, I like Philly in the spot. I mean, Zeuch has just been awful. He's given up over a 300 ISO to both sides of the plate in his short stint in the majors this year. Just terrible. I don't think I'm going to prioritize this as my top offense on the slate. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I can't fault you for liking any of these dudes. I'm personally not going to pay $5,600 for JT Realmuto. I just don't like paying up for catcher. So that's one spot that I will be a little bit different on. He'll have some ownership. Nick Castellanos is another guy that I normally never play. There's just a lot of people in this lineup that I normally never play. I do like Bryson Stott, 3,900, batting in the 6 hole. Definitely prefer the lefties here. Schwarber is obviously always in play, although he hasn't done. I mean, he hasn't hit a home run in a couple weeks. I don't know if he's got something wrong with them. I'm not sure if I want to pay $6K. I think I'd rather pay for other $6K bats on this slate. But man, Zeuch is really bad. I mean, they could literally come out and put up a Braves number here tonight. So yeah, I'm not totally all in on Philly, but I do like them.
You're gonna like Philly. Talk about some of these bats and then any Reds.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the same thoughts as Gary, and we talked about it yesterday when we broke down the Phillies. It's not a comfortable team to stack. I mean, Real Muto, they got the price way up there. I mean, you're paying 5-6. That's a lot. A lot of times when you build teams, if you're doing 5-mans and 3-mans, kind of looking to punt off catcher a little bit. Paying a big time premium. Schwarber at 6K. Like if I stack the Phillies, I want these top guys, but man, it's tough to do it even with Stott. Like, yeah, I'm fine with Stott, but I mean, 3.9 for Stott, like all these guys are freaking expensive. So I will have some exposure, but the price tags on these guys will keep it a little bit lower than I'd like. There's other expensive bats on the slate that I'd rather go to. So yes, I will have some exposure to the Phillies. I want it to be the main guys. That probably will lead to my Philly stacks having cheap pitchers as a part of that team. So, overall, yeah, I'd like the Phillies, but just because of the price tag and the way that I'll be looking to stack them up, they're probably going to be down on the list a little bit for me tonight.
Yeah, there's some good hitting spots on the slate today. We only have 8 games, but multiple teams with an implied total over 5. So Phillies do lead the slate with the highest implied total. Before we get in the next game, Squints in chat said, in stacks, what's a priority for them batting next to each other in the order? I mean, you always want them in a 5-man stack or 3-man stack or stuff. You always want them to be close to each other in the order, because if your guy gets a single and the bases are like single, double, runner second and third, you'd want that third guy to be yours to drive them both in. But it's not a necessity. However, if it's like a 3-man stack, I'm not trying to go 1, 4, and 7 in the lineup and just bounce around that way. You're more home run hunting. But in a 5-man stack, I mean, you still can. Like Hoop might be just fine with that as well. I'd rather him be kind of closer. I think like a 1-3-5, I think is fine as well. There's no hard rule at the end of the day, but the reason for stacking is obviously you want your guys to get on base, then your guys to drive them in, so you're getting points for all that stuff. So if it's a 5-man stack though, like a 1, 2, 3, maybe you skip 4, 5 and then go 6, 7 or something like that, or a wraparound, I think it's totally fine. So there's no hard rules on it. If you can get them closer, the better. But I mean, that's what everyone thinks in DFS. So if you're stacking Phillies 1 through 5, more people will be doing that than if you bounce around a little bit. So hopefully that answered your question. There's no hard rule in it though.
And 5-man stacks. I mean, if you're 5-man stacking, it would be hard to stack a team with there not being some lineup spot correlation. So maybe, look into a little bit more with like your 3-mans or whatever, but like the 5-man, it would be almost, I mean, I don't think you can do it. Like
you have over half the lineup already. I wouldn't worry about much 5-man. It's more the 3-mans. Like I said, 1, 4, 7 would sound a little uncomfortable, but I mean, at the end of the day, if they hit home runs, it doesn't matter, but you want them to get on base. Good question, though, Squints. Let's get to the next game on the slate. We got the Chicago White Sox, the Baltimore Orioles, Lucas Giolito, Spencer Watkins on the mound. Talk about warm. It's warm in Baltimore, 85. These two teams started off hot yesterday. It's cooled down a little bit as the game went on. No one mentioned that they're playing Giolito. He has struggled a little bit. So any Orioles for you, Hoop, and then any White Sox against Watkins?
Not going to pick on Giolito here. I'll be off the Orioles. On the White Sox side, I have some moderate interest, but it would be more 3-man stacks, and I like them as a 3-man stack for one main reason: cheap. Cheap exposure here. You got Pollock leading off at 3.3, Andrew Vaughn 3.6K, my guy Gavin Sheets in the 5-hole at 2.3K, Jan Moncada 2.9K. Even Jose Abreu's under 4K coming in at 3.9K. So I like the White Sox as a mini stack, as a 3-man stack. Wouldn't full stack it. I mean, the price tags are very appealing on these guys. Sheets, especially at 2.3, Pollock leading off at 3.3, Vaughn at 3.6. You can play one of these top offenses and then come here and round out the rest of your lineup. So I like the White Sox as a 3-man mini stack. And then, like I said, no Orioles for me.
Gary, White Sox, Orioles.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have interest in Baltimore, but man, just looking at you just look at the prices. Mullins, Rutschman, Santander, they've been doing pretty well. They're all 5K and above. I'm not paying those prices on this slate. When we have other offenses. And I do like Coop's call of the mini stacks for the White Sox. I'm going to stick to the cheap guys. I'm not going to pay 5K for Robert. I think Romy Gonzalez is popping a little bit as a nice value play. He might be a little popular on today's slate. Hasn't done much. I always don't hate a min-price catcher. Sebi Zavala, 2,200. Makes a lot of work for your lineup. So I definitely like mini stacks here for the White Sox.
2 for 2 on mini stacks. Hoop, Gary, don't mind some White Sox. Doesn't sound like they'll have any Orioles in their lineups. Next game on the slate, Toronto Blue Jays, Boston Red Sox, Jose Berrios and Brian Bello on the mound. Bello's back. Gary, I'll go to you first because how long is he going to pitch? Is it going to be like what did they do last time? They started Rich Hill and they brought him in after. It looks like Bello's getting the start now, but I mean, how long is he going? Is he fully stretched out? It hasn't been the best start to his major league career. He still has the hype. Talk about this game and what you expect for his pitch count wise.
So, I mean, it's hard not to like Toronto here. I mean, Bello's I think he's given up more earned runs than innings pitched so far this season. And I don't think that's going to change here. And then you bring in Rich Hill, who's just dreadful against right-handed power bats. And this lineup has 8 of them literally in their lineup who can take them deep at any given moment. I think we're going to see Bello go 1 to 2 innings. And then we're going to see Hill go 3 to 4 innings if he lasts that long. And then you got a pretty bad bullpen behind those guys. So I absolutely love Toronto in this spot. They're not my top stack, but I mean, it's very close. I mean, there's some premium offense on this slate. But I like this, I like this lineup top to bottom. They're almost like the Braves. You can stack them any way you want. Matt Chapman has just been a stud over the last couple months. He's probably my favorite. He's going to be the lowest owned, as Hoop always says. Love this Toronto lineup and this Boston lineup. Man, I cannot play any of this Boston team. I like Berrios quite a bit. Berrios is in contention to be on my main squad. So I'm not going to have any Boston on this slate, and I absolutely love Toronto.
I like it. I'm just seeing Hoop, when we were talking about JBJ, the revenge yesterday, puts up a 16 piece. So Mangone was right on that. You got the revenge right for big JBJ. You going back to him because I know you're going to be on some of these Toronto guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite team here on the slate. I think by a pretty wide margin. Just love them. Got the job done last night. Yeah, we've made fun of Jackie Bradley, and 2 out of 3 games, solid. 2K full punt. I don't absolutely hate it. You got the revenge as well. Mangone's got to be super excited about this spot. So top to bottom in play. Has Whit Merrifield done anything yet since he's done with Toronto?
Yeah,
okay, all right.
That home run, though, you probably didn't
Yep.
see it. It hit the top of the fence twice, the top of the wall. It bounced, and then bounced over.
Yeah.
I was laughing.
So, top to bottom here. I mean, you can play absolutely everyone. Love this spot here. It's my favorite team, favorite offense on the slate. And then, on the Boston side, I'm not playing anyone. I'm on Barrios. This lineup sucks. I mean, if you're going to make a case for anyone, it could be Devers. But again, it's a big boy price tag, 5.9K for Devers. I'll just go somewhere else. But I'll be, in on Toronto 1 through 9. I mean, Jackie Bradley can enter the player pool tonight for us.
Next game on the slate, we got the Los Angeles Angels, the Tampa Bay Rays, Mike Myers and Shane McClanahan on the mound. It's a 7 total, but that's because Shane McClanahan is pitching against these Angels who have a very low total. Tampa's been getting they've been getting healthier, which we talked about in the show. The bats have been waking up a little bit. Gary, I'll go back to you. Any Tampa for you, and I assume no Angels, even though you aren't playing McClanahan.
I mean, I have a little bit of interest here in Tampa Bay. I think you kind of have to on the slate when you want to jam in some high-priced pitchers. I mean, you got a couple bats in here that are expensive, like the Randy Arozarena, Brandon Lau. They're both kind of over 4,600, 5,300 respectfully. But then you go down, David Peralta, 2,900. Francisco Mejia, 3,500. That's a good price for him at catcher. Even G-Man Choi at 2,700. And Taylor Walls. I mean, you have a lot of cheap bats that you can fit with high-priced offenses. And that's what we're kind of looking for on this slate. This Myers kid is not good at all. I'll have some interest here, and I'm going to fill them in as 2 or 3 man stacks tonight.
Hoop, any Tampa interests for you?
Maybe. Just 3 man stacks. So Brandon Lowe, Harold Ramirez, Peralta's cheap. So it would be 3 man stacks. Obviously don't love this ballpark, but this Myers guy, not very good. So just mini Tampa stacks, and then Angels. Now, I mean, a 2.5 team run total. Can't do any Angels here.
Yep, makes sense. Let's see what we got for the likes. 425 watching, 162 likes. What do I set it at? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to go a little under 300. I'll go 260, a little under 100 more likes that we need. 260 likes for the plays of the day. It should be very easy to get 424 watching. We should have 424 likes. I know it doesn't work like that, but 260 is the number for the plays of the day. Hit that big red subscribe button. We always do appreciate it. And then NFL 15 is the promo code if you're looking to join. Gets you 15% off every single month. Let's get to the next game on the slate. The St. Louis Cardinals, the Chicago Cubs, Miles Mikolas and Luke Farrell on the mound. Talk about this one. Who Cardinals good implied total against this Luke Farrell dude who I do not expect to be in the game very long. I don't think.
No Goldschmidt tonight, so that's a little bit different here. A different look for the Cardinals.
Why do you need him when you got Pujols at first base? You only can play him one anyway.
Exactly. So now Pujols 2.3K, right? Where is he? Batting 7th. Yeah. So you don't have to make the decision anymore. You can just plug in Pujols and move on. I mean, a lot of cheap bats here. You got Lars Nootbaar, who I like a ton at 2.6K, steal upside, all that stuff. Good matchup. Like him, you got Donovan batting 2nd, 3rd base eligible, 3.2K. Gorman, Tyler O'Neill, you got a really cheap outfielder in Corey Dickerson. So a lot to like here with the Cardinals. I'm good with, full 5-mans, 3-mans, whatever you got to do. Tommy Edman batting 9th should get no ownership. I kind of like him as a tournament play here. I mean, one of these guys that we always talk about, bad lineup spot, big boy price tag, leads to no ownership. And that's why Chapman's, treated us so well this season. So not similar situation, but 4.4K, no one's playing him in the 9-hole. I think he's very interesting for tournaments in those St. Louis stacks. And then I won't be on any Cubs here tonight.
Yeah, I definitely like the Edman call. There's a lot of this St. Louis team. There's a lot of ways you can go to stack it. They can fill out multiple positions and they have price tags all the way from Arenado at 5.6 to Corey Dickerson at 2K. So, Gary, any Cardinals for you against these Cubs? And then talk about the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cardinals are my top stack of the slate. I mean, it's really hard for me to not plug these Cardinals into most of my lineups tonight. This guy is really, really bad. He's a 31-year-old career minor league journeyman who has a 5 ERA and a 1.46 WHIP in 59 innings in AAA this season. Not good. Then after he comes out of the game, after his 2 or 3 innings of getting shelled, you have the second or third worst bullpen in the league over the last month. It's just going to be an obliteration. I like that Goldie's out of the lineup because it makes me like the lineup even more. I can stack all these cheap guys, including Corey Dickerson at stone minimum. Everybody's going to play Newbar. I mean, you play Dickerson instead of Newbar, you're instantly different in your lineups. And that's good for me. So I like Yadier Molina, 2,200, Albert Pujols, of course, 2,300. His ownership just went up with Goldie getting out of the lineup, but I'm fine with that. He's been on fire, not only against lefties, but also against righties. So, I mean, all these guys, I mean, you can play Polly McClanahan and Gallen and a 5-man St. Louis stack, and you still have plenty of room for your secondary stack on this slate. Like it a ton, and I'm going to have a lot tonight.
Yeah, I think outside of Newbar, I think the ownership should be kind of in check as well on this slate. I expect, leading off 2-6. I think people are definitely going to go there. But, yeah, of course, some people are going to stack the Cardinals, but there's multiple teams on this slate, the good implied total. So outside of him, I'm not seeing too crazy of ownership. So I like it. 2 for 2 on the Cardinals, and I'll join you for sure. 3 for 3 there. What do we got? 3 games left. Minnesota Twins, Houston Astros, Dylan Bundy, Framber Valdez on the mound. Going to you in this one, Hoop. I mean, Alex Bregman, dude, is swinging a hot stick for sure. You're going to go to the Astros, and if you are, you're going to go to any Alex Bregman.
Yeah, I have some interest in the Astros here. Bregman would be included because obviously the bat's hot, like you said. Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, kind of the same stack that I talked about last night. Didn't get the job done, but Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Mancini, and then Pena in the 7 hole. I like that. You leave off Altuve, you leave off Gurriel. So if you are full stacking, I think that's my preferred way to go. It's a little bit cheaper by avoiding the Altuve situation up top. I like the price tag on Pena, Mancini, Kyle Tucker. So that's kind of where I'm looking with these Houston stacks. And then, I'm not going to be on any Twins here against Valdez. The one downside here with the Astros lineup is just Gurriel in there. They're just so content on having like a contact hitter in that second spot. Usually it's Michael Brantley. He's injured, so they plug Gurriel in that 2 hole. Just makes it not fun to like stack this team. So I'll skip those top 2 guys and then come down and focus on 3 through 7, like we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, I see Mancini lost his outfield eligibility, though. So another lineup with the 2 first base options. I pretty much always play Mancini over Gurriel as well when I play GPPs. Gary, Astros for you today, and then I assume no Twins, but talk about them.
Yeah, definitely no Twins. Framber is just going to ground ball him to death. But yeah, I have a little bit of Astros in my pool tonight. Pretty much the same thoughts as Hoop here. Not going to pay the 5.2 for Gurriel or for Altuve, and I definitely prefer Mancini over Gurriel here. Don't forget about Chas McCormick either. 2,200 in the 8 hole just makes a lot work. Martin Maldonado even 2,300. 2 cheap additions. Chaz has been pretty good this season. You look at his last 30 numbers, it doesn't look. He's got a 347 WOBA, which is not too terrible. So definitely like him for the price tag. And Mancini and Tucker and Bregman would be my other main focuses here. But yeah, I'll have some Astros tonight.
I like it. We only got 2 games left. We're flying through these games today. Pitching, there's only a couple options. Hitters, we're getting right to the point as always, but 2 games left in these likes. Trying to buy you some time. 260 is the number. Takes 2 seconds. We should jump to 260 right away. Like button, big red subscribe button. Everybody is happy. Get you the plays of the day on this slate. Get the mojo rolling into the afternoon. But next game on the slate, Arizona Diamondbacks, Kansas City Royals, Zach Gallen, Brady Singer on the mound. I think we got 1 game left. Gary, pass?
Yeah, easy pass for me tonight.
Who?
Yeah, definitely really like Gallen. Can you make the case for some of these Diamondbacks bats? No, when you consider the price tag. I mean, you look at it. Even if you don't like Singer tonight, do you want to pay 5.4K for Josh Rojas on the slate? Do you want to pay 5.2 for Kettle Marte, 4.6 for Walker, 4.7 for Varsho? Like, it's just not friendly price tag. I mean, if you want to punt with Rivera, I'm fine with that at 2.6K on DraftKings. But man, these big boy price tags, tough. Even if you don't like Singer, let's say you're not a Singer person, you don't think he's as good as some people, still don't think you can pay these price tags. So game's easy fade for me.
Man, I did not realize Josh Rojas. I mean, you see that price tag, it's like, what is DK doing? But check the game log. I will give him. He is definitely swinging a hot stick. So good for him. I mean, I have not stolen bases too. I mean, he's got a good amount in there. I have not been on the Josh Rojas train except when he was in Coors Field. But man, 5-4, I did not see that coming. Last game on the slate: Milwaukee Brewers, Los Angeles Dodgers. Adrian Hauser is back. He's been out for over a month, taking on these Dodgers. Man, Dodgers got to the Brewers yesterday, that's for sure. Good implied total in this one as well. I assume no Brewers. I have no interest in the Brewers against Heaney. Keston here, I guess I'll just say the name because the dude is absolutely raking. So if you want a one-off there, I would not say no. But other than that, no Brewers for me. Gotta have some interest in these Dodgers personally, though. Gary, talk about them.
Yeah, definitely have interest in Hauser. I mean, he's just been crushing the ball. But yeah, only interest for me. The rest of this lineup, no thank you. And the Dodgers, man, what a spot this is for them. Adrian Hauser's just been terrible. For one, he's been terrible on the road. He's coming off the injured list. The Dodgers have absolutely been raking. If you look at our handiness chart on the site, they are first in WRC plus, first in ISO last 2 weeks and since July 1st against right-handed pitching. They're right up there with St. Louis for me as the top stack on the slate for me. And I don't think they're going to come in with crazy ownership. I might be wrong on that. They do have a 5.3 total from what I'm seeing. But, man, it's really hard for me not to like these guys. Even Joey Gallo, 3,500. It's like the reincarnation of Joey Gallo in Texas when he made his L.A. debut a couple weeks ago. So I'll have a ton of interest here. Freddie Freeman, 5,500. Mookie Betts, 6,300. Love all these guys. Max Muncy seems to be finding his stride. Just got paid, just got an extension a couple days ago. So, yeah, I have a ton of interest in the Dodgers, and they're right up there with St. Louis as my top stack on the slate.
Yeah, for bats-wise, I mean, I think we see ownership relatively spread out on this slate. So if you like a team, I wouldn't be fading them just because the ownership on the slate is how I see it. Hoop, I mean, Gary mentioned Joey Gallo. You mentioned right away, and he got traded. He didn't like New York. He comes to LA. He's smashing. Yep. Gary's definitely right about that, which makes it easier. I mean, you always love playing Gallo. And I mean, how don't you? Matt Chapman, the Gallos of the world, the guys at the bottom of the order that do have power can get it done in one swing of the bat. I feel like you like this Dodgers lineup even more now, seeing him in there. So talk about it.
Yeah, very interested in the Dodgers. I like what DraftKings did with the pricing. You know, Mookie Betts 6.3, Trey Turner 6.1, Freddie Freeman all the way up at 5.5 should keep ownership in check, because if you do want to pay up at pitcher, it is hard to stack the main Dodgers guys. So I'm very interested in the Dodgers tonight. I like the main guys at the top. Yes, I'm fine with playing some Gallo. I'm fine playing Bellinger, but the pinch hit risk is certainly there with these guys. So I want to focus on the main dudes, I think, tonight. They are expensive. I'm hoping those big boy price tags keep ownership in check. So, yeah, tons of Dodgers for me, and then not going to be on the Brewers at all.
That is all 6 games on this slate. We're about to get into the stacks. I'll try and I'll read a promo, try and prolong it a little bit. But we got 229 right now, 31 more likes, less than 5 minutes probably to get it done. I mean, man, we got so many people just staring at the screen and just refuse to click that button. I guess that's how the world works. I should not be surprised. We do this every single day. But 260, I lowered it so you guys could get the number. Let's get into the top stacks of the slate, though. Hoop, I'll go to you. Top 3.
Definitely Toronto 1. Love Toronto. Dodgers number 2, and then I'm liking my White Sox mini stack, just a White Sox mini 3-man stack quite a bit as number 3.
Gary, Cardinals 2-3.
Dodgers, and then Toronto. And I'm probably just going to be mixing in mini stacks from those three teams in my main stacks as well. There's plenty of cheap bats within those three teams that I can kind of mix and match between those teams. So I'll be focused on those three tonight.
I like it. That is all 8 games on this slate. If you want to watch the Up to Lock show, you want the playbook, core plays, cash chart, the hand in this chart, as Gary did mention, you do have to be a member. If you want to see Big T, Tambo, and them talk about the golf that's going on tomorrow, the premium show already did happen. You can watch it in the past the past live shows on the website. You do need to be a member. NFL 15 is the promo code. Gets you 15% off every single month. Saber is included. And like I said earlier, the sims are up on Saber Sim right now for NFL week 1. Again, do not be jamming or making lineups, putting them in and not looking at it the rest of the time. But if you haven't used Saber for the last NFL season, you want to dabble around, see all that stuff, I think it's a good time to do that right now. NFL 15 is that promo code. Then Underdog, we also do have a promo code with them. Big best ball. They got $10 million prize pool for the best ball mania, $25 entry. They also have some puppy stuff. I think a $3 best ball thing that went up there as well. The promo code is RUNPEER. They'll match you up to a $100 deposit bonus if you had not deposited over there already. So head over to Underdog, RUNPEER, $100 matching deposits. I stalled as long as I can. Let's check out these likes. Man, I don't know what to say. 252. That's hurtful.
You know what? Let's do it for the people. Some good mojo. All right. They're close. I mean, it's the end of MLB season. There's an afternoon slate. Let's give it to the people. All right.
There you go. Hoop is the nice one today.
I'm a nice guy. What can I say? It's just a natural thing.
I love it. I did not expect that, but Hoop started off for us. The Rich Parents play of the day.
All right, I have to go to my Toronto Blue Jays. I think they absolutely smashed this dude tonight. A guy that up and down season, but has had a couple multi-hit games in his last 2. Bo Bichette is going to be the Rich Parents play of the day, batting 6, 4.9K, lineup spot plus salary should keep ownership in check. Bo Bichette, Rich Parents play of the day.
I like it. I'll go to myself with the SO play of the day. Let me go to these Dodgers, man. I don't think it's going to be a good night for my Brewers over here. I like Heaney. I like some of these Dodger bats. Give me Chris Taylor in the 7 hole at 3.6K. Don't expect anyone to play him. Still have the salary relief. You can go a lot of different ways in that lineup. So Chris Taylor is the SO play of the day. Groundhog play of the day, Gary. There's no Braves on this slate, so you're going to be surprising me.
All right, so I got to go to my favorite stack on the slate. I mentioned him earlier as a way to get different from playing Lars Nootbaar. I'm going down to the 6 hole, and I'm going to go Corey Dickerson. He's going to hit us a bomb tonight at really low ownership.
I like it. That is all 3 plays of the day on this slate. Thank Hoop and Chad. Hoop was the nice guy. I try and stay to my word. Hey, when I get overturned, I was happy. I like giving the plays out, but at the end of the day, you don't set the bar. No one hits it, unfortunately. So, hey, that's how it goes. We got you the 3 plays of the day. Fun 8-game slates. Rattle through all the pitching, the hitting. If you got here a little late, you can always rewind it. We'll be in Discord as always. The Up to Lock show going on. 25 minutes. Check out that golf show as always. Let's see some RPS logos up top. Have a great Wednesday night. For Hoop, Gary, Simon behind the sticks. I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.